What's the meaning of this? What do you want here?
I won't blindly obey orders anymore. I want to know what the plan is.
You know as much as you need to know. We will steal the second eye in Cairo, before the eyes of the world. The theft of the first eye got everyone's attention. Legrand's death would have increased the excitement immeasurably, but this will do just as well. We'll have a showdown instead. The Raven versus the Inspector. That should also electrify the press.
Why are you doing this? I thought it was about the jewels. Why are we making life difficult for ourselves and attracting so much attention?
It's about more than that. It's about performing on the greatest stage of all. About the end of a legend. You'll see when it's time for you to see. Until then, just do as I say.
But
James! James! Where on earth are you?
During the trip, we'll keep a low profile and steer clear of Legrand.
I lost the ticket and the fake passport.
I swear, if my arm were still good enough to climb, I'd have disposed of you long ago. Ah, well. I'd prefer that no one see you while you're on board. Smuggle yourself on board and stay under cover until Cairo.
Okay.
And no more games. Nothing that Legrand, the police, or anyone else could do to you compares to what I will do to you if you don't follow my plan.
James, there you are. Is the inspector to carry my luggage onto the ship all by himself?
He thinks he knows me. He thinks I'm stupid and weak. I have him right where I want him. Here's a young thief who'll show an old-timer how it's done. Even if it means a bit of solitary confinement. I hope the dock workers have left the cargo hold. I better just take a peek. Or at least, I'd take a peek if it were possible to open it. Feels like metal. Angular. I think it's the trunk lock. I'm lying on a pile of clothes. Different fabrics. Some rougher, some softer. This one feels like a fine net. No, I don't think this'll be much use. This trunk is built like a coffin. You probably have to pull a handle to unlock the trunk from the outside. No one thought about making it possible to open from the inside. There are small, round bumps with slots in the middle. Could be screws. Okay, where's the screwdriver? Knife. There's the screwdriver. So, if I just turn this... aha! Oh, you're kidding me! 2 metal pipes, stable, about 10 meters apart. The stuff over there doesn't look like it was recently loaded, probably part of the ship's inventory. Seems to be a strap for holding something on the shelf above the trunk. Unfortunately, I can't reach the clasp. Oh, brilliant! Hopefully the clasp won't slip out of the box when I pull the strap. The pipe rolled up against the shelf, but it's still out of my reach. All right then, I'll just drive the blade through the end of the strap. The knife isn't stuck firmly enough in the strap to endure a throw. I'll pull it out and try my luck with the metal clasp. It's worth a try. Ta-da! That should hold. My best chance. Steady as a rock. Elegant. Oh, great. Okay, I'll tie him up and then get out of here before they start looking for him. And I already have an idea where I can hide.
I can't imagine that he'd just leave.
Yeah, and without saying goodbye either.
No need to be frightened, young lady.
What are you doing here?
I wanted to see you.
This is hardly the time or the place. What happened on the train?
Nothing bad. Everyone is fine.
Inch is dangerous. I warned you.
I know. That's why we're being careful. And you have a smart and handsome young thief at your side.
And humble, too.
Don't worry. I'll take care of you.
What have I done to deserve luck like this? Inch bothers me. He's shown what he's capable of. What if he finds out about our plan?
How would he? We're careful.
He's more ruthless than we expected. The bomb on the train. I don't want to think about it.
We need to make sure that we stay calm.
You mean that I stay calm?
I'm not worried about you. I know you.
Shall we go over the plan one more time?
Good idea. We know that Inch hid the first eye in the Baroness's luggage.
I'll break into her cabin and replace the eye with a fake.
Right. We'll steal the second eye in Cairo.
And Inch will be caught in the act.
It's simple.
The devil is in the detail. I have to get into the Baroness's cabin undetected, then find the secret hiding place, and I can't leave any evidence behind.
Yes. And Inch said something about a combination, so the hiding place might be locked.
One step at a time. I think I'll assess the situation first.
And I think I'll make myself comfortable for a little while.
So this is how married life will be.
Works for me.
Everything went according to plan in London?
Except for the explosion, yes. The Bobby was right on time.
Because he had a good tip-off.
I had enough time to take the eye, but unfortunately there was no time to replace it with the fake.
Where is it? A work of art. Almost as beautiful as the original.
I can't tell the difference.
Inch could. But if all goes to plan, he won't have a chance to take a closer look at the jewel until after the burglary at the Egyptian Museum. Will Legrand cause any trouble?
Everything's still going according to plan. That means he's clever, but not clever enough.
And the Bobby?
Peasant's cunning, nothing more. He won't be able to solve the puzzle on his own.
There's still Inch.
He doesn't suspect anything. We laid the foundation well. I've been his assistant for months already. He doesn't trust me, but he thinks he can play me for a sucker. That's enough.
Speaking of Inch, I saw him talking to you in Venice. What was it about?
He was angry because his attack on the train failed and because I lost my ticket.
How did you get on the ship?
As a stowaway, locked in a cold, dark cargo hold.
Poor boy. I'll go out now and lead the police and master thieves around by the nose.
I can think of something else to do.
I can't.
Bravo!
Bravissimo! Fantastico! Ha ha!
Would it be okay for you if I get some fresh air up on deck?
Of course, my dear. Give my regards to the sea.
I'm not an expert, but I think that Mr. Kreutzer really is a very skilled violinist. At least, I liked it, and the captain was certainly smitten. Excuse me, gentlemen.
She can't have meant you, Mr. Kreutzer.
Why don't you just let me have a conversation with the young lady?
I just wanted...
Did you count the rings on your fingers, my dear?
I think I'm going to stretch my legs.
But, Mr. Kreutzer, please stay. You simply must tell me more about your wonderful violin.
If you insist.
A wonderful concert, wasn't it?
I wouldn't have expected you to be a connoisseur of classical music.
Because I'm American?
Because you're young, and friendly, and radiant. Someone like you doesn't have to know a lot to get along well in life.
Are you easily prejudiced at your age?
In my long experience, there's often a core of truth at the center of every prejudice.
Prejudice is the reason of fools.
Was that written in the book you once read?
Oh, I've read many books. Good books.
But not my books, you mean to say?
You're a writer?
Mm-hmm. What can I do for you, Miss...
Mayers. You know, I'm not planning on throwing myself at a man.
I'm glad to hear it. You have to work. Earn your own money.
Oh, I will. My grades are excellent, and I really want to study acting in New York.
None of my books has ever been made into a good film. The stories were twisted, shortened, and simplified so that even the dimmest fellow could follow them.
I want to do theater and travel. I speak 3 languages.
That would be 3 more than most people your age can speak. Do what you have to do. But stay away from bad men.
Is this your first trip on the Lydia?
That's quite enough. Life is too short for conversations like this. I do wish that rather delightful Swiss policeman had come along.
I heard you had an interesting trip on the train.
It was thrilling. I'm hoping for an encore. Perhaps in Cairo.
Mr. Kreutzer possesses impressive technique, don't you think?
He certainly does. His numerous playmates in Austria can tell you more about it than I.
You mean Mr. Kreutzer is a womanizer?
I'm not talking about cheap skirts. I'm talking about expensive clothes. A man like him needs funds to support his lifestyle. Just go over to him, my dear. Tell the maestro that your family is wealthy. You have everything he's looking for. Money and a pretty face.
Hold your tongue.
Mr. Kreutzer, Lady Westmacott, please.
Or did you have your eye on me, Mr. Kreutzer? Old, yes, but rich.
Jezebel.
Mr. Kreutzer, Maestro.
That's better. Freeloader.
You and Mr. Kreutzer, you seem to know each other.
Not really, but I know his type. Parasites who cling to the rich and famous and suck them dry. The young, misunderstood painter. The innovative writer who writes books that no one wants to read. The musical talent that has to be supported. The ladies and gentlemen of high society let the others use them and call themselves patrons. Another word for fool.
Didn't you finance archaeological excavations in the Near East and Egypt?
For my husband, and I was there myself. I catalogued items for him, and I didn't show him off like a trophy at cocktail parties. But my son was one of them, the worst kind. The kind that sucks not only the money, but also the life right out of a person.
May I take my leave?
You may.
A deck chair in the sunshine on a cruise ship. I'd be a fool to miss out on that tomorrow, but I have to take care of my duties before I can relax in the sun. Ah, lovely big towel. I hope tomorrow I'll have a chance to sunbathe and enjoy the rest of the trip. A handsome man and a talented musician, but he doesn't seem very happy. Hello, Mr. Kreutzer.
Do you want to have a go at me, like the old witch in there?
I just wanted to talk to you.
Now is not the best time.
I just wanted to tell you that I really loved your music, and that Lady Westmacott did not have the right to speak to you like that.
Really? How do you know? You don't know me.
Then, did she have the right?
No, she didn't. That cynical old witch enjoys exposing the weaknesses of others, although we all have them. She as well. She lusts for recognition and acts as though it weren't so disgraceful. She rejects prizes and awards with snide remarks, but she's angry when others receive them. She needs to know that she's better than others.
You seem to know her quite well.
I've only met her once or twice, but I know her son and some of her friends. One friend of hers supported me for a long time. No one is brave enough to say it to her face, but everyone hates her.
Her or her success? You're so talented. Why aren't you performing on the world's great stages?
Fate, perhaps. Or bad luck. My parents opened every door for me and my sister and expected corresponding careers.
Over-ambitious parents who force their children to play music?
No, it wasn't like that. I loved it. I loved to play the violin. They didn't have to force me. I wanted to do it on my own. I thought I would achieve my goals if only I worked hard enough. But it was not to be.
What happened?
In a more dramatic story, I'd say that I broke my hand just before my big break, or that I was rejected because of my nationality or my name, or that I was brought down by a conspiracy. But nothing like that ever happened. I practiced like mad. I got better and better, really good. But nothing happened. The right people never heard me. I was never in the right place at the right time. Can you imagine how it feels to always be on the cusp of a breakthrough? To be just one evening away from becoming an overnight sensation? To see how other, less talented violinists pass you by because you just aren't lucky enough?
How terrible.
For every star in the limelight, there are a dozen more that burn out unseen, fading month by month. I didn't want to be one of those people who waste their lives chasing dreams without realizing that they're unattainable. If I couldn't have the life that I always dreamt of, and that my family expected from me, then at least I could have the next best life.
The next best life?
Mansions, limousines, parties, everything you could wish for. Though none of it belongs to me.
The lady called you a freeloader.
An ugly word, but maybe not so far from the truth. I move with the rich and famous, and at first glance, I live exactly the life my father always wished for me. A carefree life, easygoing. And I play the violin, which I always loved to do.
But it's not really like that.
It's empty. My life is just a shell. A show, and everyone knows it. I loved something once, and I burned for it. But now, the violin is just an accessory for practicing my real profession.
And your family?
How could I ever look them in the eyes? A failed violinist who gave up.
What does the future hold for you?
Isn't it obvious? My hands are starting to shake from alcohol. What will be left once I lose my good looks? I'll have nothing then. And so I'll put an end to it all.
You can't say things like that.
With my father's pistol, I always have it with me. It's gone! Fate won't even grant me a quick death.
Don't you think you can still make it?
No. It's too late now. The real question is, did I give up too quickly back then?
I don't know.
Thank you for listening.
Goodbye, Mr. Kreutzer. Bull, curling, shuffleboard, all the same to me. I'm not interested in any of that now. The two of them seem to be in a private conversation. I'd better not disturb them. When Adil and I were following the professor in London, I was disguised. But that doesn't mean he won't recognize me now. Two handsome sailors are standing at the table and studying a marine map. Good thing they're busy. I can have a look around without being disturbed. If someone leaves the bridge, I'll pretend to be stargazing, and if that doesn't work, I'll just turn on the charm. A classic. The thief enters through the ventilation shaft. Can it really be that easy? No, it can't. The cover is screwed shut. All the first-class cabins have their own ventilation. The shaft might be my best point of entry, but unfortunately, the cover is screwed shut. No idea what kind of flag this is, but the pole it's attached to could be very useful one day. It's about 80 centimeters long and looks quite stable. Yes, it's sturdy, but it's also too cumbersome to carry around.
Come in. How can I help you, young lady?
Are you the ship's doctor?
Yes, of course.
You see, that's what I thought, because you've got a uniform and you work in the medical center.
Well spotted, young lady. My name is Dr. Gebhardt. How can I help you?
What are the other passengers like?
Listen, young lady, I do not really have time to chat right now. Today is my first day, and it is going differently than I had expected.
You do seem a little stressed. Maybe you should relax. Stress isn't good for you.
You're right. If there is nothing else I can help you with.
But you weren't really helpful at all. Maybe I'll come back later. Bye now. He has the enviable talent of being able to sleep anywhere, anytime. He once fell asleep on a cable car and only woke up after he'd already gone up the mountain and back down again. We booked this cabin because it's centrally located, easy to duck in whenever we need to. Of course, the fact that it's a first-class cabin with a huge bathroom and shower had nothing to do with it. As soon as I've swapped the jewels, I'll treat myself to a hot shower, and then we'll see how the evening progresses. Okay then. I am Patricia Mayers. Young, attractive, clueless. I am Patricia Mayers. Normally I don't carry so many things around, but it would have been suspicious if I'd come aboard with nothing but a rucksack whilst pretending to be the daughter of a wealthy family. I got this necklace from my father. It's supposed to remind me that money isn't the most important thing in life. If all you've got is this penny, as well as family and friends, then you're a very rich girl, he said. I'll take it with me. It'll bring me luck. I always try to carry as few personal items as possible. If my things are ever searched, they won't reveal my true identity. I don't like wearing hats, but they do fit the role. And I have to admit that the day in London when we shopped for Patricia Mayers was a lot of fun. It happened pretty fast between us. It was magic when we first met. Birds of a feather flock together, and he can be very charming. Daddy wasn't at all amused when I brought him home, mind, but I don't think he'd have been satisfied with anyone.
I'm sure I could help you if...
Stand aside.
if you told me what you're looking for.
You're just getting in my way. Now get out.
I'll wait at the door, madam.
Yes, yes.
Oh, Miss...
Mayers?
Can I help you?
No, I'm just having a look around the ship. Good day. Oh, that was close. Wooden salad tongs. just small enough to carry around unseen. I could jam the penny in and make a kind of improvised screwdriver. Why not? Right. That's it! I just hope that this is the right shaft. I still haven't found a way to get back into the ventilation shaft from the cabin. I need something like a rope and a way to tie it to the shaft. I could tie the bath towel around the pole, put the pole across the ventilation shaft, and climb down with the help of the towel. Sounds like a plan. Here goes nothing.
Ah, Jakob Aust. I finally got you. I'll have them arrest you and justice will be done.
Can I be of assistance, madam?
Yes, you can get out of the way.
Shall I tidy up, madam?
No, it's time to celebrate.
Excellent. The coast is clear. I'd prefer to lock the door. Someone could come in and catch me at any moment. But it's important not to leave a trace. Inch absolutely cannot find out about us. I must hurry. It seems like she was searching for a specific photo, and that she actually found it. Jakob Aust. Now I've got you, she said. We got our hands on the list of passengers, but I don't recognize the name. Hundreds of black and white photos. Many of them tinted. From the 20s and 30s, I guess. I don't have time to deal with them. The Baroness wrote something down and took the slip of paper with her. It's probably not important. The mannequin could probably wear my clothes. It'd disappear under the Baroness's clothes, though. Impressive for a quick drink on the go. A suitable glass for every occasion. But most of them look more or less unused. The Baroness probably disregards style and etiquette when she's drinking alone, and just uses the same glass. More bottles. Might be the good stuff. Napkins and towels, but no jewel. Gin, whiskey, liqueur, sherry, vodka, brandy, and champagne. Every bottle is at least half empty. I wonder what the Baroness is running away from. Loneliness? Disappointment? Grief? Corkscrew? Bottle opener? Coaster? Nothing else. What's that? A small leather strap. Aha! Nefertiti, Guernica, A.D., Buonarroti's Adam. This could be a memory aid for the Baroness. And it would explain how Inch discovered the combination. I'm going to copy the hints. As I see it, I have to decipher these clues to find 3 of the symbols. Then I can guess the 4th. Well, Nefertiti was an Egyptian queen. The monogram and the 2 other clues aren't much help. I'd put money on the Eye of the Sphinx being behind this door. I don't think anyone would bet against me. To me, it looks like a combination lock. A good one, too. The door only opens when the right symbols are in place. I'm here to steal one of the most valuable jewels in the world. not to swipe the contents of handbags. Luckily, I don't have to go through all these suitcases. Inch has been traveling with this woman through Europe for months. I almost feel sorry for him. Almost. Not even Adil would believe that this painting was an original. He was interested in art when we first met, but for him it was always about the content, not the technique. I had my work cut out teaching him to concentrate on the stroke, the material, and the signature of the artist. It's the only way to distinguish an original from a fake. I don't care who painted it as long as it speaks to me, he said. A perspective that, as an art thief, I can't share, but it's charming nonetheless. That was close. Maybe it was a steward who checked whether everything was ready for the Baroness's nightly rest. Whoever it was, I should leave as fast as possible before someone comes back. What on earth is going on here? I don't like that. Is someone else after the eye as well? But even if that is the case, what does the audio tape have to do with it? I can't let it get to me. I have a job to do. Hello, Captain DeCanti.
Miss Meyers, how nice to see you. You look beautiful. We missed you at dinner.
I was in my cabin. I didn't feel very well.
Oh, I hope you're feeling better.
Lovely concert, wasn't it?
You only heard the end. It was really wonderful.
All the more curious that Lady Westmacott embarrassed Mr. Kreutzer like that, don't you think?
I have no idea what got into her. They say she's a difficult person, but maybe it's the privilege of famous people to be a bit strange from time to time. When I was still a young sailor, Enrico Caruso was a passenger on our ship, and he...
I think she's fascinating. She's achieved so much, and all by herself.
Lady Westmacott, oh yes, that's true. The most successful writer in the world.
Do you know any more about her?
Everything. I'm her biggest fan. What do you want to know?
Where is she from? Who were her parents?
Her father was a wealthy British salesman. Her mother died in childbirth. She had an outstanding education, but was a lonely child, they say. Her father was away on business most of the time.
I know how she feels. For many years, my father's career was also more important than me.
Don't say that, my child. Your father paid for the life you now live.
Did Lady Westmacott's father marry again?
Yes, a woman 15 years his junior. She didn't really care for the child. She was something of a high society lady. She made the headlines with her antics more often than the family would have liked.
And her novels. How did she come to be a writer?
In interviews, she always mentions her French tutor, who encouraged her to write when she was a child. After some poems and short stories, she began to write detective novels with great success. The rest is history. The experts are arguing whether she or Shakespeare has sold more books.
Although she doesn't receive the same deference.
That's true. But her books are much more innovative and extraordinary than people generally give her credit for.
And what does an elderly lady like her want in Egypt?
I couldn't really say. She was there many times with her husband, an archaeologist. He died a long time ago.
I heard something about a reception at the Egyptian Museum?
Yes, for the eyes of the Sphinx, or rather, for the eye. But I don't think she'd go to Cairo just for that. She usually stays away from official events. Didn't participate in the literary scene either. always stayed as far away as possible from high society, probably because of her stepmother.
Is it true that you're a war hero?
Mm-hmm. In 2 world wars. That tells you how old I must be.
You're as old as you feel.
Oh God, I hope not.
Aren't you feeling well?
You shouldn't burden your pretty little head with the dark thoughts of an old man, my dear.
If you don't feel well, maybe you should take it easy.
I'm afraid if I take it easy, it'll kill me.
You seem to be a pessimist.
Fatty liver, asthma, gallstones, jaundice, gout, shingles, hemorrhoids, varicose veins, circulatory trouble, knee problems, pulmonary embolism, gastritis, migraine, neuralgia, tinnitus, rheumatism, pleurisy, thrombosis, and constipation. Those are what's been diagnosed so far. My body is a curse.
Oh, I didn't mean to... I'm sorry.
Forgive an old man. I didn't mean to shock you.
You're still the captain of this beautiful ship.
They couldn't just get rid of me, so they stuck me somewhere where I can't make trouble anymore.
Don't say that.
This ship runs fine without me. The crew knows what to do. They don't need me. They don't want me.
Captain!
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm burdening you with all of this. Forgive me, eh? I'd like to rest for a while. Soon enough, it'll be time to head back to the coalface.
Captain DeConti?
Yes?
Do you know Nefertiti?
Is she a Greek queen?
No. She... Never mind. Guernica, does that mean anything to you?
Not a harbor that I've ever docked at.
Oh, that's too bad. Do you have any idea what the monogram AD might stand for?
AD. There was an Admiral De La Celle in the Navy who always signed AD because he didn't want anyone to know that his first name was...
Oh, it couldn't have anything to do with him.
Well, no. I have no idea then.
Buonarroti. That sounds Italian, doesn't it?
Ha! You can say that again. Buonarroti is the name of the greatest artist of all time. Michelangelo Buonarroti, who most people only know by his first name. Just imagine. One man, an Italian, achieves perfection in all 3 movements of graphic arts. His David is the most famous statue in the world. As an architect, he was a genius. He built parts of St. Peter's Basilica.
And as a painter, Michelangelo painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel.
The creation of Adam. The spark of life leaps from God to Adam. One of the most famous paintings in the world.
Yes, it is. The Sistine Chapel, Apostolic Palace, Vatican City. I don't know any animals associated with them.
Animals?
Oh, it's a game I used to play. My father posed me a riddle, and I have to guess an animal.
And Buonarroti's Adam was the hint? Maybe he meant Rome. According to legend, the founders of the city, Romulus and Remus, were raised by a she-wolf.
No, that's too vague. Does Vatican City have an animal on its coat of arms?
No.
And the Pope?
Every pope has his own emblem, but the new one doesn't have an animal.
You don't seem to like the new Pope.
It's too early to say. But who's fit to hold a candle to John the 23rd? Il Papa Buono, as we used to call him. The good Pope.
He just died recently. What was his heraldic animal?
He was a lion, and so was his heraldic animal.
For a Catholic, Buonarroti's Adam could be a mnemonic for the lion. Pope John XXIII was elected in the Sistine Chapel like every other pope. A work of art hints at a coat of arms with a lion on it. Maybe. I'll make a note of lion. I'm gonna go have a look around.
All right.
I don't know why, but people just seem to open up to me. Is that a blessing or a curse? It must be horrible to look back bitterly at the end of one's life, especially if it could have been a great life. The Baroness seems to have a reason to celebrate. She's downing one glass of champagne after another. The less I have to do with her, the better. Best if she doesn't even remember that I exist. Although, based on her alcohol consumption, I don't really think I have to worry about that. Lady Westmacott?
Yes.
I hear you're well-versed in Egyptian history, Lady Westmacott. Can you tell me anything about Nefertiti?
A queen. The main wife of Akhenaten.
Are there any famous works of art depicting her?
Oh yes, the bust of Nefertiti. One of the most beautiful ancient Egyptian sculptures. I saw it years ago in London.
So the bust is located in England?
No, it was discovered in 1912 in Tel El Amarna by a German archaeologist and brought to Germany. I'm not sure where it is today. Ask the Baroness. She's the expert on museums here.
Does Guernica mean anything to you?
Why are you asking me all these strange questions?
I'm curious. How shall I learn if I don't ask?
Pick up a book.
I've got a puzzle for you.
Why do you always bombard me with strange questions? I can't imagine why.
Oh, come on. You're the queen of mysteries.
Well, what is it then?
A monogram. A capital A with a small d on the bottom. Who does it belong to?
Someone on the ship?
No. No one on the ship.
I don't know. Whose is it?
I don't know either.
It doesn't make much sense to ask a riddle if you don't know the answer. Wouldn't you agree?
Actually, I'd say that it doesn't make sense to ask someone a riddle if you do know the answer.
Touché.
May I take my leave?
You may.
It seems like Dr. Gebhardt was able to wrestle himself away from his work, but he still doesn't seem to be very relaxed. Quite the opposite. And why won't he go to the saloon? Dr. Gebhardt! Getting some fresh air?
Oh, you could say that.
I was talking to the captain. He didn't look well. Is he sick?
I am sure you will understand that I cannot discuss the medical history of one of my patients with you.
Why? Do you think I'm too stupid?
I didn't mean that. It is a matter of confidentiality.
I asked whether the captain is ill and you called him one of my patients. Haven't you already answered my question?
What do you want?
Do you know the Egyptian queen Nefertiti?
Yes. There is a famous bust of her.
Really? Tell me more.
No, I am sorry. I do not have time for that.
Does Guernica mean anything to you?
Now listen, young lady, I do not know what they told you, but just because I am German, I am not responsible for the crimes of my government.
Crimes? What are you talking about?
We obeyed orders, just like everybody else. Now leave me alone.
Do you know what the monogram AD stands for?
What?
A capital A with a small d below it.
Yes, I do. Will you leave me alone if I tell you what it means?
You know.
It is not just any monogram. It is the first. Albrecht Dürer, a German artist, signed all his works with it. He was the first artist to sign all of his work with a monogram. It was not common to do so before then.
Are you sure?
His wooden engravings were, and still are, printed billions of times in Germany.
Billions of times? You're exaggerating.
Not at all. His work appears on German marks.
And what?
That's enough. I told you what you wanted to know. Please, leave me alone now.
Maybe the art magazine will help me with the symbols. Indeed. An article about the different works of art and how they survived the Second World War. And there's also a picture of the bust of Nefertiti. The unique Egyptian work of art was 1913. Permission to export to Germany. Second World War. Safe at the Reich Bank. then a bunker, and then a salt mine. Prevented from shipping the bust to the United States, back in Berlin since 1956. Very glad, blah, blah, blah. Soon in the Egyptian Museum of Berlin, and hopefully someday in a reunified Berlin on the museum island. Okay, so the bust of Nefertiti is located in Berlin. And which animal is on the city's coat of arms? The Berlin bear. I just need one more animal. Adil,
In the shower.
I found the secret compartment.
Oh, brilliant! And the jewel?
I'm working on it. Adil,
Yes?
I almost got caught in the Baroness's cabin.
What happened?
I don't know. A man came in and I just had time to hide under the bed
Maybe it was a steward who came to clean the cabin?
and turn on a tape recorder in the cupboard.
Huh. Maybe it was Inch. He wanted some music?
There was nothing on the tape. It was playing, but I didn't hear anything. Something is rotten here.
Don't bother your pretty little head about it. Swap the eye and hurry back. I've got a surprise for you.
I don't think your surprise will really surprise me. The secret compartment is secured with a combination lock.
Is there any way in?
Not without leaving evidence. I need the combination.
Are there any hints?
A memory aid consisting of several works of art. There are animals on the lock.
The works of art might hint at specific animals.
You don't say, genius. I've already got that far. About the combination.
Yes?
Guernica. Sounds Spanish, doesn't it?
Yes, it's a city in the Basque region.
Does it have a heraldic animal? Or maybe the region has one?
I don't know. I've never been there. I just know it because the city was bombed by the Nazis during the Spanish Civil War.
Nazis? In the Spanish Civil War?
Well, not officially, of course. At the request of General Franco, his friends from Germany reduced a defenseless city to ashes and rubble. Picasso immortalized the bombing in his famous painting.
Really? Is it on display in Spain?
Silly. As long as Franco is in charge, he won't allow that.
Where is it?
Oh, no idea. Paris, maybe? Picasso lived there for a long time.
Maybe doesn't help me much. I'll be going. Don't waste all the hot water.
Never.